So on my birthday then.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be tough. Saying goodbye, saying hello, it's gonna be tough. But with that being said, we're live on another episode of BS Busters, and today we're tackling the news of the week. No, we're tackling the news of the week. Which, I mean, it's the same shit we normally tackle because some people just can't stop fucking up. Bethesda fucked up, EA fucked up, Rockstar fucked up, Google fucked up. Am I missing anyone else who fucked up?
A voice actor screwed up as well.
Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't really know what it was because after a certain point, you just get tired of reading about people fucking up. You know, you need a break from people fucking up.
That's exhausting.
Yeah, it's like, you know, there's enough fucked up shit going on in the world just on normal shit that, like, when you go into video games, it's like I can't keep on looking at even more people fucking up because this is non-critical things that people are fucking up on. But yeah, someone fucked up yet again. So yeah, Nintendo fucked up a little bit, but you know, like, it's a minor fuck up, but they've been fucking up too. I mean, a lot of fuck ups this week. So with that being said, I guess before we move on into who fucked up this week and how they could possibly fix it, we'll have everyone introduce themselves, starting with the person who's here not quite as often, Kenoshi, and then the person who's here more often, and then I'll introduce myself, and then we'll dive into it. Go, Kenoshi.
It's Kenoshi and Mom Nito here to say that what's the point in bathing a pig if they're just going to go right back to the mud? As it pertains to a lot of these companies. Ain't nothing going to change.
That's an interesting analogy, considering that pigs can't sweat, so they do that in order to stay cool. It's actually vitally important that a pig be covered in mud. but okay, why not? Pinky?
This is Pedophile from Video Game Facts. Just letting you guys know that I'll be away for a short while in the mid podcast because food will be here soon. But until then, let's break some BS.
All right, and it's me, Mr. Yeah, it's me, Mr. Red Fox. We're talking bullshit, so let's dive into it. So basically, the first thing, the big news story this week is Google Stadia. The first one we're going to tackle. Google Stadia. Google did a AMA about their Stadia on Reddit, and AMA is short for Ask Me Anything, where people can ask anything. And basically, they pulled the only way I can describe this is, remember that Xbox One reveal where people before Don Matrick opened his mouth, people were kind of excited about the Xbox One. And then the more they talked about the Xbox One, and the more Don Matrick talked, the more the Xbox One looked like someone had broken in your house and shit in your cereal.
Yeah.
The whole always online thing.
Not just that, just like everything they said, like literally the more Don Matrick talked, the more unattractive this product looked, / service, because that's what they wanted. They wanted a physical product that also was a service. And Google is doing the same thing with Stadia. And just like Don Matrick, they're literally, I mean, to use a real world equivalent that doesn't involve video games, like basically the Google Stadia, for me, is kind of like if you went on a date with a girl or a woman, depending on your age group, and like before the date starts, she's like, you know what, this person seems relatively attractive, it's relatively smart, it's good looking, seems like he would be, kind of bum in bed. She's like, I'm gonna give him some. And then as the date goes on, you open your mouth and you say shit that's so stupid you talk your way out of getting some. So by the end of the night, you get that fake hug and not even a kiss on the cheek, and you're sent home. All right, like literally, you talked your way out of getting some. That's basically what Google Stadia feels like. It's like, this is a dude, like we're the ladies. It's like, I really wanted to give you some, but you have talked your way into not getting any with your stupidity. Congratulations. A winner is not you, you know. And it's just a really bad situation. Because basically the more that comes out about Google Stadia, the more it just doesn't look like first of all, they're like, well, we're not a Netflix of gaming. Okay, fair enough. But then you look at what they're offering, it's like, so like you can't download the games that you even if you buy the games for Google Stadia, you can't download them. You're basically buying a license to stream these games. You're not buying a license to play these games wherever you want. You're buying a license to stream it, not to play it. You don't like when you download a game, you're getting the right to play that game, and technically you get the right that if something happens to download that game in case something happens to the cloud-based servers, you technically get that license when you download a game. But you don't even get that right with streaming, because once the cloud servers are gone, you're just SOL.
Yep. All the money you spent, gone.
I mean, we did warn you about Stadia for months now.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, we didn't have that much information to go on at that point. All we had was, well, like this, if it's like this, if it's like that, if it's like this. We didn't have the information. Like I don't want to go forward on stuff that's really new when there's nothing else to really compare it to. But this is one of those things where it's like, oh shit. Like literally, like they open their mouths and all this information comes out and it's like, man, you fucked up. You fucked up. And here's the thing, okay? I really wanted to give Google the benefit of the doubt because like the idea behind Google Stadia, like, or at least the potential of being able to pay a certain amount of money and play your games from anywhere, through the power of the from taking a quote from Microsoft here, from the power of the cloud, is a very interesting possibility. Too bad Google took that ball, fumbled it, and then someone picked it up and ran to their own field goal and made it a touchdown. Because that's basically what Stadia is right now. It's like it's basically effed up from the crib. Like in the crib, it's effed up. It's like, man, that baby's got 3 eyes and 6 thumbs and no normal fingers, just all thumbs. It's like it's messed up. So, any thoughts? Anyone have? Nothing.
Like I said, you know, I mean, it's not the Netflix of gaming, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I got nothing to say because I already saw this coming a mile away.
I mean, it's sad. That's all I'm saying. It's sad that it got to this point because it should have been better.
So essentially, you're paying to be on their service, and you also have to pay for games. Well,
the thing is, like, you get 1 free game a month for what, $12.99 basically. But here's the thing, okay? In order for you to get into it, you have to buy their expensive, overly overpriced generic USB controller that they've basically branded with their Google Stadia brand. So it's like slightly specialized. It's not even like with the Steam controller, you're getting a controller that basically has somewhat of the functionality of a mouse, with also the functionality of a controller. So that's like actually a pretty nice deal. Like I got a Steam controller for like $39.99, and it's great. It's like one of my second favorite controllers. It's pretty damn good. You do not get that type of functionality. This thing looks like a slightly specialized, like Xbox 360 controller or an Xbox One controller, which is like very generic. I mean, the Xbox One controller is basically, at its base function, is essentially a knockoff of a SNES controller. Just like the the Sony controller is a knockoff of a SNES controller. And I mean, they're like, well, in the future you'll be able to use your own USB controller. So basically, like, you're paying $79.99 plus tax for an overly expensive USB controller, so that you can play one game a month. And then buy games after that, so that you can play games off of over Wi-Fi, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems, how can I put this nicely? Lame as fuck.
So one game a month for 12 months for $12.99. But you have to buy their controller.
Yep. At launch. Now, eventually, what Google says is that they'll launch the free version. But the premium version, it's like, and here's the kicker. Like, okay, I think most of us, or at least a lot, I think like most hardcore gamers don't like they don't really have a data cap on their bandwidth. Like, a lot of us have the the ultra high speed, like the premium. You can get internet bandwidth speeds where you don't really have a cap. But I mean, for Joe Blow average consumer, they don't have that. They have, I mean, for their purposes, if they're playing games where they're not online all the time, they don't need that. They're just doing, they might download something here or there or stream a movie here and there, but they're not like doing like a ton of shit. But if you're talking about middle America and rural America, those people are lucky if they have like a 50 gig, 100 gig a month limit, and once that's over, they're fucked. They're like, well, I'm stuck using the base speed because it's all throttled after that point.
Yeah, it's a big pain. It just makes me wonder why Google just didn't make a console.
Yeah.
They have the money to do it.
Or Steam. Steam did the same thing. Like, remember, we're going to make Steam boxes and Steam consoles. I'm like, had you guys committed to that and actually made a console? If anyone could have done it, it's Steam, because Steam actually has first-party IPs. Like, Valve actually has first-party IPs they could create that would be system sellers. Like, I mean, if people don't believe me, if Valve said we're making Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3, Half-Life 3, that's all I can think. If they just said those 3 games, we're making third installments, some of our most famous games, and for the first year they're exclusive to the Steam box. You don't think that shit would sell?
There have been people that have been saying that Google Stadia will go the way of Google Plus. I think it's going to crash harder. It's going to crash and burn harder than Google Plus did.
Well, because people use Google Plus.
Yeah.
People use Google Hangouts. Maybe not as many as Google wanted, but people used it. I think people, like, I did a video on this, and some guy who's like, yeah, I'm from Europe or some shit. And he's like, I'm from Europe, and it's different. I'm like, dude, that's nice that Europe has better internet standards, and it's true they do. They do have better, because most European countries have better consumer protection laws in place than here in America, where basically it's a very laissez-faire attitude where the capitalists can fuck over consumers, and it's caveat emptor, which is let the buyer beware, basically. Nationally, now there are certain states where you have a stronger consumer protections, but like federally, it's very much caveat emptor. So basically, it's just not good. It's not good. And Google, like, they aren't selling this. They're like, well, it's, we're creating a platform for third
Here are some
parties.
results from the web.
Oh shit. The fuck? Oh, that's right. My phone is here, and I said Google. But basically, yeah. Google is not making this. They're not making this shit easy. All right, they aren't making it. They're not making it attractive. I mean, I hate to say this because Microsoft pisses me off too, but Microsoft is making their games for Windows more accessible. And
well, they're the closest thing to having a Netflix for gamers.
Yeah, and it's still not good. It's not. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, they're totally.
It's still not great, but it's closer than what everybody else is doing.
Oh yeah.
It's incredible that we're having the same conversation and the same issues 10 years later when we were talking about OnLive. Remember OnLive, ladies and gentlemen? Remember that service that came and went?
Yeah, but OnLive, like, here's the thing, okay? OnLive, the technology still wasn't there. The technology is here. It's right there. And all they had to do, because here's the thing. The reason I say it works is the technology's there is because look at Microsoft. Hell, look at PlayStation Plus. Hell, even Nintendo with their shitty online is giving you a better service than what Google's doing. It's just like, hey, you want to play these old ass fucking games that if you're a Nintendo fan you've already played? Here you go. $20.
How many years of R&D were they undergoing before they decide to roll this thing out? It's not been very long.
I personally think that maybe Google did about 2 years. Maybe the idea was seeded before then, but they probably did 2 years. Because I know last year I did the beta, the closed beta for this. And that's how I got Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I know that like last year they did the closed beta. And typically speaking, you do the closed beta to the public, the closed private beta to the public after you do a closed private beta to the development team. So maybe like 2 years. Like this is like normally for technology, you need to wait you need to do at least 4 or 5 years. So the fact that they did it this quickly, I don't know. I think Google was more or less, I think they spent more time working on the tech than they did the actual idea behind the tech. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what they need to do is talk with these ISPs, try to get special deals with these ISPs so that ultimately it's not going to kill your your Comcast bill or whatever internet provider you have. It's not going to kill your wallet.
Yeah, but the thing is like, and then, I mean, it was just a series of bad decisions.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, we believe that ISPs will do something. It's like, look, they're gonna fuck you over. I have a friend who has like really shitty internet, and like, here's the thing, okay? First of all, ISPs in America basically have an oligopoly. There are very few places where you have an option aside from AT&T,
Verizon,
Comcast. I mean, because or maybe whatever your local thing is. You don't have any real choice. It's like whatever your local thing is, whether it's a national chain or a local regional chain, that's it, right?
Well, I've heard it described like this. Here in the U.S. we have one of the slowest internets compared to the rest of the world, compared to the rest of the the first world that has has internet. We have the slowest internet and the most expensive.
You know why that is, right?
Because of the monopoly.
It's partially that, but it's also like, well, it's a monopoly means you just have one company at the top. It's more of an oligopoly where you have like 5-6 companies at the top, and then some smaller regional ones that are holding on in certain places. But the big boys are basically muscling everyone out. And then you have the fact that we have one of the oldest telecommunication infrastructures in the world, and like it's privatized. It's privatized, and no company wants to spend the money to upgrade the infrastructure without passing the bill on to us.
Exactly.
You go to other countries, and a lot of their telecommunication things are owned nationally, and the private companies actually have to go through the government in order to use because technically speaking, a lot of their telecommunications in foreign countries were like they were created by tax dollars. So the people own their telecommunications. So it's like okay, you're using our shit that our tax dollars paid for. So it's like you can't charge, like, you know.
And there's also the land, the way America is, we have a whole bunch of different climates and environments.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, that was a viable option 50 years ago when we were still using telephones, like, when, the telephone line was still being laid old fashioned. Now we have satellites and Wi-Fi and fiber optics. Like there's no excuse for our shit to be expensive as it is now. It's private industry. It's capitalism. It's like everyone thinks like here in America, everyone thinks that, like, everyone has been brainwashed to think that pure capitalism is the way to go. And I would say that capitalism is a great way to raise money, but unbridled capitalism is fucking terrible. And that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, if we actually
unbridled capitalism.
Yeah, I would argue that we don't live in, a society where the market truly is free, because,
it shouldn't be truly free, because when the market is truly free, it fucks over everybody in order to make money. That's what happened during the housing crash, because basically you had banks chasing money and then betting against themselves that the people they lent money out to would default on loans, so then they could basically repossess the houses, get the money they could from the people, then repossess the houses to get even more money and resell them. Like they basically were betting on their loans defaulting to people.
What I meant was that there are a handful of companies that essentially own everything. Like how Disney's been buying up a lot of studios, and how we don't have a lot of.
Well, I mean,
when it comes to cable and internet,
that's pure capitalism. The people who have the most money and capital have the most power and outreach. That's pure capitalism. That's like there's no caps. There's no. I mean, it's the reason why most governments, even places that do kind of promote capitalism, don't promote pure capitalism, because it leads to this type of shit where you basically have no competition. Like, I mean, let's look at the best base example. How many brands of soda do we have? Like major brands.
Well, we pretty much only have Coke and Pepsi.
Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, Sprite.
Yeah, but Sprite's Coke.
Yeah, basically there's Coke and Pepsi,
and then you have the closest to them is I want to say Canada Dry.
And Faygo, which I believe is actually owned by Coke.
Faygo is a regional brand in I want to say Michigan, like Michigan, Detroit, around there somewhere, but it's not like Wisconsin, like that area up there. But I mean, there are regional Cokes, but by and large, when people think of sodas, the big ones is the head of the monopoly, which is Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Like, because I used to live in Florida, and Florida has a regional soda brand called RC or Royal Crown, Royal Crown, and I think there's still like Right Cola. Like there's small regional brands that still kind of hold on in their distinct areas, but overall, it's like you're SOL. You're stuck with what you got, you know.
Be right back. My food here.
All right. And I mean that's what we're dealing with here. You know, you look at Google, and Google's trying to get in there, but I mean you're reaching market saturation. I know people say competition is key, but you also have market saturation. Like we're reaching market saturation right now. Okay, we're reaching with all of these various streaming services. You got Disney Plus, you got Hulu, you got DC Online, you got 3 versions of HBO streaming. You got 2 versions of Showtime streaming. You got multiple musical streaming services. Like when is enough enough?
Yeah, the streaming services are getting out of hand. There needs to be this might not even be a great idea either, but some sort of like hub that you can pay for like $30-$40 a month, and you can have access to
what you want, like a package.
All like a package deal where you can have access to all these streaming services.
But here's the thing, though: if you're paying, like here's where I think people got out of control. They were like, well, you know, I want to cut the cord, but here's the thing. Basic cable for what you basically want. If you're a dude and you like sports, you get 2 or 3 sports channels. You want to watch some premium channels, so you get a few premium channels. You're still going to be spending $30 or $40 a month. So at a certain point, it's like, well, shit, I might as well just get a basic cable package with a few premium channels versus just, you know, cutting the cord, because for all the shit you're paying for, you know, you're still getting fucked either way, which is sad, but.
Or say screw it and head down by the bay every once in a while to get your entertainment, if you know what I mean.
No.
But I don't condone. Either.
No.
It's a suggestion.
The thing is that like the wave of the future is streaming, but it's like no one, like really, they need like a Netflix. Like, I hate to say this, like really, I think people should choose like 3, maybe 4 streaming services, and that's what they stick with. Like me, I have Amazon Prime, which I get because I just have Amazon Prime anyway. I pay for it every year. I get the yearly thing. And then there's I have Hulu through Spotify. No. I upgraded my Hulu recently, so I don't have Hulu through Spotify. And then I have Netflix. And that's it. And plus I have cable, but I kind of need cable because there's other shit that, you know, I got a really good deal for getting cable through my like I have Comcast at my businesses, and also they gave me a deal because I have it at like 3 locations for my, like I pay like $25 a month for my house, but I get the full premium package because I'm paying so much at my businesses. It's weird, but also a really good deal for my home. But I mean, you know, not everyone has that, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Google tries to fix all of this.
I don't think they can. I don't think they can fix it. I think it's fucked. I think the only way Google can fix this is lower the price, drop the free version immediately, like 2-3 months after the premium version launches, which I think is going to flop hard. Because I've heard people say, well, it'll do well in other countries. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like I don't know that many people who are going to pull out a tablet, put it in a stand, pull out the Google Stadia controller and start playing a game like streaming at a coffee shop. Why? Like most of the games that we play today, even the ones that are like time wasters, you're gonna spend more than 5-10 minutes playing that shit, even if you're just wasting time. And Google Stadia is like it seems like I mean, like, could you imagine someone going to a Starbucks and sitting down, getting into their Wi-Fi, which, I mean, the free Wi-Fi at a lot of places is it's basic, you know?
Oh yeah, it's usually pretty bad, but it's not.
Like, you know, if you want to watch a TV show off of Netflix or Hulu or Amazon, it's fine. But for gaming, where you need low latency,
Yeah.
man, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah. But I think we've harped on Google Stadia enough. In conclusion, Google is fucking up already. Speaking of people fucking up right out the gate, GTA 5's casino.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Oh boy. So basically GTA 5 drops a casino where you can spend real money to get fake money to buy fake shit.
Yeah.
And as soon as it was launched, it was blocked in 60 countries because it's gambling. It's literally fucking gambling. How can I put this? Rockstar, what the fuck is going on with you? Seriously, what?
They lost their mind.
So basically, here's the thing, okay? People wondered why we couldn't get single player extra content for GTA 5 because they put all their resources into making shit for this, to making online shit so they could nickel and dime people and make people spend money on shark cards. Like, basically, I played GTA Online when the level cap for your characters on the online server was like, I think, level 20, 25, 30. Like, it was kind of low level, and it took forever to reach that level and for you to get a shitty little apartment. And after that, I just stopped playing. I was like, well, I've got a car. I got an apartment. This is as far as I can go. And I just stopped giving a fuck at that point. And that's basically like, because for me, GTA is a very private thing. I've never wanted to play a GTA with other people. Like, there's something very private, you know, about a GTA game, you know? Like, I don't want to be doing pimping missions and pimping out women and beating up people with a baseball bat or killing someone with a giant dildo, which you could do in GTA San Andreas. You could find a dildo and beat someone to death with it, which, you know, was doing it before. It was beating people with dildos before Saints Row ever thought about the shit. But yeah, like, it's fucked up, man. It's fucked up. Rockstar, you fucking up. You got anything to say about that, Kenoshi?
Yeah, I mean, in this case, yeah, this is literally gambling. And so apparently you use real money to get real money, or use
real money. Well, you can use real money to get fake money so that you can get fake shit, because it's digital shit. Like, the reason people are doing this is because if you get like $11 million in the casino, you can buy a penthouse in the casino, which is basically like high real estate. But here's the thing, like, everything in GTA Online is inflated. Like, a car is like really expensive, and earning money is really, like, the only way to really make money in the game is by doing heists. But the thing is, like, in order for heists to work, like, you don't get access to heists until you're like level like 10. Is it 8 or 9? It's like you have to be relatively high level, and grinding for levels and experience early on is a motherfucker. So it's like, you know, and like the beginning heists don't pay off that much. So in order to get the really good heists, you have to be higher level. And it's just, some people cheat by buying shark cards, which give you money, which helps you get a slight edge early on.
Yeah.
Because cars are really expensive in the game. It's like everything is hyper expensive. Weapons are expensive. Cars are expensive. Everything is over fucking priced. And this is, I mean, it's,
I mean, they should have just made that free to play if that's how they're going to be about it. That's pretty lame that you're, charging people that much for stuff they've already bought the game. I don't know.
I mean, and the thing that hurts the most is that we could have been getting single player content because basically, like the most offensive thing about GTA Los Santos is that it takes place in the same place as San Andreas and has less content than San Andreas. Next Generation, less content. It literally has a third of the content of San Andreas. A PS2 game is bigger. It has more shit going on than than their latest game that came out in the 7th and 8th gen.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad.
Well, no, Nintendo did the same thing with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
they did the same thing with Breath of the Wild. They kind of did because there's practically no real dungeons in the game. You can't fish. You can't really. I mean, you can swim, but you can't dive underwater or anything. So I mean, and people say, well, you can technically do it through glitches. That's not a feature. If you can do it through a glitch.
Yeah, the thing about diving underwater would the problem would have been it's the engine they would have to worry about.
Yeah, it's the engine. It's the engine. Like, here's the thing: Breath of the Wild is not a very good Legend of Zelda game, but it's a really great tech demo.
Yeah,
it's a really great tech demo for the physics engine, for the engine they created, which is nice. But here's the thing: I don't play Legend of Zeldas for tech demo to be a glorified tester for their tech demos, for their graphical engines, physics engines. I don't care about that. I play Legend of Zelda games for dungeon design and level design and stuff like that.
They spent way too much. They probably spent a lot of too much time on the engine.
Yeah,
it's like half the development took getting the engine to work properly. Could you imagine?
Yeah. And it still isn't perfect. It still isn't perfect. The engine is still kind of shitty. I mean, it still doesn't get the job. It's still not very well made. It's still very randomized, and sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean,
I'd say it works better than a lot of other people's engines.
Well, with Nintendo, the only company I can compare Nintendo to is itself. And like in other Nintendo games, when you push a rock down a slope and it's supposed to hit a group of enemies, right?
Yeah.
And like 100% of the time, if you do that, it works in other Zelda games. But in this one, because of that physics engine, which adds a sense of realism, why people want realism in a video game, I'll never understand. Sometimes it'll hit them, sometimes it'll miss them. Because it'll hit like a pock mark or something or a boulder, and I'm like, that's cool and all, but I don't need this randomness in my life in a video game.
Could you imagine them spending time on underwater using the physics engine underwater?
Yeah, that's why you didn't have fishing.
Yeah,
that's why you didn't have fishing, because they blew their wad on the physics engine, and they were like, shit. The other shit that's supposed to be in a Legend of Zelda game isn't here. Well, fuck it. They'll accept it. They haven't had a new Legend of Zelda game in years. They'll take it. And they did. People ate that shit up. Nintendo shit on a plate, sprinkled it with Zelda flakes, and said, it's a new Zelda game. Because they did the same thing with Skyward Sword. They spent so much time getting the motion control to work that other shit that should have been in there wasn't there because they just didn't have the resources and time to get it there.
I disagree on Breath of the Wild. I think Skyward Sword is just kind of boring. I think it was just. Off pretty fast.
I mean, I wasn't bored during Skyward Sword. I just think that it felt very compartmentalized. And like, it could have been a great game, but they spent so much time getting that motion control to work and to get features to work with motion control that other aspects of what should have been there suffered. Like basically, Skyward Sword feels like a big tech demo for Wii Motion Plus.
And
just like Breath of the Wild feels like a big tech demo for that engine.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
that's what it feels like. They're like, fuck dungeons, fuck that.
The thing about Skyward Sword is the motion controls didn't always work as well as they.
No,
emphasized.
You're right. Yeah, that's the same thing with Breath of the Wild. They're like, man, this physics engine. Yeah, but I mean, it's still really fucking glitchy and broken. Like people using an infinite jump glitch. People figuring out how to ride a Zora dude anywhere. People figuring out how to basically get on a metal platform and hit it, and then get on top of it, and then flying all over the place. I mean, that breaks the fucking game. Major game breaking shit.
Yeah, but they actually had to figure that out. It's not like it was. It's not like it was just there. I mean, people had to figure out how to break this. I mean, it's like that with a lot of the old games where people are through walls, through various places and whatnot.
That's still kind of, and plus Breath of the Wild is the only Legend of Zelda game I've ever played where it crashed on me. I mean, the base game crashed on me. I don't mean I was playing a broken version of the game. I mean, literally, like, I was playing it and shit just crashed on me. I've never had that happen to me with a Legend of Zelda game before, but this one, it happened. So, congratulations, Nintendo. Diminishing quality. Hopefully, the next Legend of Zelda game won't be as buggy as Breath of the Wild was. Knock on wood. But that being said, yeah, GTA 5, Rockstar, you're fucking up. You're fucking up. I don't know if they can come back from this. Do you?
I don't think so. I don't know. People, I think Rockstar, people will forgive Rockstar. Just like they do, well, not so much Bethesda anymore, but like all the forgiveness that people used to give Bethesda, will probably give the Rockstar until enough's enough.
Until they fuck up a GTA game.
Yeah, until they absolutely just completely destroy,
The day they fuck up a GTA game.
By what I hear from, non-paid reviewers, GTA 5 wasn't particularly all that great compared to the others.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. The game, like, basically, the game, like, they're more focused on telling a story and not making a great game. Like, that's the problem with GTA 5. That's the problem with Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead 2 is that, like, they're more like Rockstar with their like 2K game, with their games, they're more interested in telling a fucking story than actually making a good game. Which is why, like, the combat in Rockstar games is so shitty. By and large, like the gun fights are just trash. Like everything is just really, it's just it's not. Like here's the thing. We're in, like, why is it we're 5 GTA games in, and why is it the best GTA games I can remember playing were the ones from the 6th gen?
My problem with Red Dead 2 is this is mostly coming from people who have played it, who have described it to me. It's like you have to eat, or else your health will dwindle. You have to keep your horse clean, or your horse will die. It's like,
yeah, but I mean, they kind of had that in GTA San Andreas.
Well, they had an eating system.
Yeah, San Andreas, you had that. Like if you ate a lot of food, you get fat, and your health would go up, but you'd be fat and you couldn't run as fast. If you exercise a lot, you get muscular, and then you could run faster and jump and move faster. And like if you were climbing, you could climb faster. You could do more damage in fights. If you got skinny, you were even faster and you were lighter, but like your health kind of went down. Like it was kind of there. It's semi RPG mechanics. I mean, that doesn't bother me. What bothers me with Red Dead 2 is that it's just boring. Like everything, Red Dead takes the engine that was in GTA and makes it boring. Like in GTA, like let's say you have to get to a point into another point in town, right? Let's say you got to go on a mission that's across the city, right? Get in your car, you turn on the radio, you listen to a song. If you have it on PC, you can put in your own music, right? You can listen to whatever the hell you want. And sometimes, I mean, have you ever been playing a GTA game and you're listening to the radio and the shit sounds so good, you're like, I'm gonna listen to this song and hear it out to the end. And you're like, man, this shit sounds good. Especially GTA Vice City or San Andreas, where they had like good music. Like, man, that's Michael Jackson. This shit's awesome. Yeah. Or you're listening to San Andreas Twilight by Maze. Yeah, this is great.
Well, you can't put a radio on a horse.
No, there's no radio, so you just gotta listen to the ambient music, which isn't good. It's ambient. It's kind of like my problem with Breath of the Wild, where I remember one of the last posts before Google Plus went down is I was part of this community by this guy named Eric Maverick, and he's like, well, you know, if you love the music of Breath of the Wild doesn't have music. Like very little music. And I'm like, well, if it's not Koji Kondo, I don't want to hear it. It's like, oh, you bastard. I'm like, look, man, you like the non-music of Breath of the Wild, the ambient, you know, kind of sort of music. I know what they were going for, but for me, I like the epic feel of most Legend of Zelda games where like you get that sweeping Koji Kondo score when some shit's about to go down.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I also enjoyed the ambient music in Breath of the Wild more so than I would say in other games that do the same thing.
Okay, guys, I'm back. What did I miss?
Well, we went back to GTA 5 fucking up.
Oh, okay.
And we talked about Yeah,
Rockstar is fucking up, and you know, I mean, it's on them. It's there. But I mean, my point is this: like, you know, if you're on horseback. Like if you're on horseback, you're not gonna hear really epic music, like on horseback in a Red Dead game. And to me, it's just boring. Like going from point A to point B is boring. The protagonist in Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead 2, boring. Like, I mean, for like Rockstar for such interesting characters don't have good characters for Red Dead games. No, GTA.
It's the Wild West. I mean, how could you not make it?
Oh, that could have been cool. Look, let me ask you a question. Let me pitch you two Western protagonists that would have been fucking cool. Okay, what if they made a game where you play Black Bart? Now, for those of you who don't know who Black Bart is, anyone here familiar with Blazing Saddles?
Yes.
That's based on a real person named Black Bart. He was a sheriff in a town that he cleaned up the town, and he was a black guy, and he did have to fight racism in the town because he was the only black. He was the black sheriff in the Wild West, 1800s. Okay. It's like the song says. He conquered lawlessness, and he conquered hate. Now, if they made a Red Dead Redemption game where you basically played as Black Bart, that shit would be fucking awesome. Black sheriff going around putting a cap in racist ass white people. That's great. I love it. Or how about a Red Dead Redemption game, a Red Dead game where you play, where it's essentially your main character is essentially a play on The Man with No Name from the Sergio Leone trilogy. Where you basically get to be essentially the man with no name, which itself is a derivation of the Wandering Samurai from Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo. But I mean, that'd be more interesting than what we got. You're an outlaw who's kind of honorable, but not really. Get the fuck
Everybody talks about that game with such fondness, but every time I see clips of that game, the voice acting doesn't sound all that great.
It's just boring.
It just looks boring as hell.
Yeah, it's boring. Like, I remember playing Red Dead Redemption. Like, I got it for free through Sony PlayStation Plus at the time. It was like a free, well, not free. It was like $1 and you get the entire game. I was like, oh, this is cool. I played it. I'm like, this shit is boring as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Who else has been crapping the bed lately? You said Nintendo.
Bethesda.
Yeah, Bethesda. Okay, first of all, once again, Bethesda gets caught lying. That's what I should have said. I should make a video saying once again, Bethesda gets caught lying. Okay, so basically, here's the rule of Bethesda. Okay, here's what they've been saying. All right, is Bethesda, as we know, bought Quake. Not Quake. Bought id Software. id Software also like has Quake, Quake Arena, Wolfenstein, and Doom are all their IPs. And so basically they're re-releasing Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 3, and Doom 64 for PC and consoles. Doom 1, 2, and 3 are already out. But here's what happened. They put a Bethesda Net thing where you can't play the games until you sign in to Bethesda Net. And Bethesda lied basically and said, well, this was an error and we're going to patch it out. It wasn't an error. Like, it would be an error if it was only one game, right? If there was only one game where it's like, okay, Doom 2, you got to sign into Bethesda Net to play the game. When it's in all three games, they wanted that shit to be in there, and they got called out on it, so now they're going to make it optional.
Oh yeah, they want your data. That's what they want.
Yeah, so that they can send you shit for their shitty Bethesda Net, which is trash anyway.
Yeah, so they can keep trying to sell you junk. Yeah, that's Bethesda for you. Always up to their old tricks.
Yeah, but not even good tricks. I mean, like, here's the thing: if you're gonna fuck me over, be cool with it. You know, like be like, ah, man, I fucked you over, but I was sly with it. Because if you fuck me over and it's a cool way, I gotta see, like, I don't like that you fucked me over, but you did it with such style. I'm gonna let you won it. You wanted this. You won this, sir. You won it. But Bethesda's like, hey, yeah, Bethesda is like someone who got caught. Bethesda is like the time my shitty ass roommate who my first year of college had my first 2 quarters in college. I had the roommate from hell. This dude. Well, it's my podcast, so I'm not gonna the name. I will not mention any names, but I'll tell you what the dude used to do. Dude used to jack off while I was in the room, and which was bad enough. But then he'd like go in my care packages and steal shit, and I'd catch him going into my care packages and stealing shit. And I'm like, dude, why would you do that? First of all, I didn't want anyone who would
Choke the chicken.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It would be odd if you were a young man full of hormones and didn't choke the chicken. My problem with him is that he'd do that and wouldn't wash his hands. Yeah. That's oh god. So then to have this same person reaching into my care packages, grabbing shit, and I know he didn't wash his hands after he had a date with Rosie Palm. That's a little on the dude, you're kind of freaking me out.
Gross, yeah.
And so basically I reported him, and I got a single because I was like, I play it to the hilt. I'm like, so I got a single, and man, I got so much work done living by myself.
Oh yeah,
it was great.
Living by yourself is just great.
It's the best shit ever. It's like, oh man.
My final year at college, I had to ruin myself. Man, that was fantastic.
Yep. But anyway, I fucking hate those people. But that's neither here nor there. it's like
the way Bethel screwed up by requiring people to sign into their Bethesda.net account to play the first 3 Doom games on the Switch. Not cool.
Well, not just the Switch. It's every console. You have to sign in to Bethesda.net and they're like, well, no, we made a mistake. No. If it was like one game, that's a mistake. Oh shit, this one game, the code was there. The fact that it's in all 3, you wanted to make this shit mandatory, and then when you got called out on it, oh shit, no. That's what this shit is. And this is why people should be worried about Bethesda buying all these IPs. I mean, we should all be like I remember when everyone was like, well, Disney's gonna buy LucasArts, Lucasfilm, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. And I was one of the people who's like, they're probably going to Disneyfy this shit. And it's probably not going to be awesome. Everyone's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'll be damned. Disneyfied. And it's not awesome. It's not awesome. I mean, it hasn't been a renaissance of Disney, right? We haven't gotten any good Star Wars games. The movies have been hit or miss. I mean, the IP utilization has not been great. All right. That's under Disney. Everyone's like, man, George Lucas sucks. At least we got some good games for Star Wars under George Lucas.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't even say that under Disney. Shit.
Well, we did have some potential good Star Wars games that got canceled during Lucas's reign.
Yeah, but we also got some good ones too. I mean, look, we got Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back, Super Return of the Jedi, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, TIE Fighter Assault, Star Wars the arcade game. We got well, I mean, some people love this game. Shadows of the Empire. I think it's trash, but some people love it. They love it because of all the cheat codes you can do. You got Rogue Squadron. That's one of the best console arcade flight sims for Star Wars in existence. Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Squadron 3. Rogue Squadron 3 is the weakest, but it's still pretty good. Pod Racer. Star Wars Starfighter, Jedi Starfighter, Empire Assault, which is an RTS. I mean, I can name tons of good ones. Yeah, some got canceled, but there's tons of good ones that came out of when Lucas ran it. I can't say that much since it's been run by Disney. What? The Force Awakens, the Lego game? That game flopped because people didn't like the movie, and like people didn't like the movie, and also like, why would you make a Lego? Like, the Lego games were the Lego Star Wars games were great because you had an entire trilogy to pull material from. How the fuck are you going to make a Lego game about one goddamn movie? I don't know, but they tried. It didn't work though because the game flopped. And don't get me started with those 2 EA Star Wars games. Hey man, that EA Battlefront with no single player and microtransactions for cosmetics. And don't get me started on Battlefront 2, which is just a turd. So, it has not been butterflies and rainbows under Disney. And I was one of the people who said, well, we can try giving them a chance, but it probably won't turn out well. And I'll be damned. Didn't turn out well.
So Disney murdered Star Wars?
No.
I don't think they murdered Star Wars, but they haven't done... They didn't murder Star Wars. It hasn't been well run since they bought it. That's the problem. It hasn't been well run. And this is just me. I think they should have stuck to the 3-year schedule for Star Wars movies. Like, they could have had the spinoffs, like your Solos or Rogue One, stuff like that. But like you get a new Star Wars film every 3 years, like within the thing. That would have made more sense instead of trying to push out, every year a new Star Wars film. I'm like, that's too much, because Star Wars just doesn't it doesn't really have that. It doesn't have that type of juice. And they should have had one director for the entire thing. Because Star Wars always
the original trilogy had 3 different directors.
Yeah, but you had one guy in creative basically masterminding the whole thing. You didn't have that here. You had basically J.J. Abrams did the first movie. They needed a treatment, and then they gave it to Rian Johnson, who looked at Abrams' treatment. Which, I mean, whether you love The Force Awakens or not, Rian Johnson looked at Abrams' treatment, laughed, unzipped his pants, pulled them down, wiped his ass with JJ's treatment, flushed it down the toilet, and said, "I'm gonna do my own thing." And his own thing. Look, whether you like the Last Jedi or not, it polarized the fan base.
And Empire Strikes Back then.
Not to the same extent. Not nearly to the same extent. People weren't polarized by Empire Strikes Back. Even people who weren't a fan of Empire Strikes Back weren't like, "Man, that was fucking terrible." They were like, "Hey, it's a little bit dark." But they weren't like, "That was fucking terrible." There were people who got out of The Force Awakens that were like, "That was a fucking terrible movie." And you shouldn't here's the thing, okay? Rian Johnson, I've actually watched a lot of his films. I watched Brick, I watched Looper. I'm gonna watch that new movie he's coming out with. It's like an evil version of Clue. Like, I'm gonna watch that because I like Rian Johnson's films, but he is not the type of director that you put in charge of a franchise. Kind of like how Marvel did with Edgar Wright, where they had him doing Ant-Man, and they were like, "No, you don't fit our model." Like, there's certain directors that you can't put them in charge of certain shit because they just don't have they can't play within that sandbox, okay? And Rian Johnson is one of those. You just don't put him in that sandbox.
Hey guys, I'm gonna duck out. I'm kind of tired, so I'm gonna go chill for a little bit.
All right. So yeah, it's let's see. We got a good little bit longer to go. So give your sign off, Kenoshi, and then you can.
It's Kenoshi about Nito. Glad to be on another BS Busters. Talk to you guys maybe this Wednesday or whenever, maybe next Saturday. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, okay. So with that being said, let's see what other news. I don't want to go ultra in depth because it hasn't been the longest, the biggest news week. We got some type of controversy with a voice actor. I don't know what it was about.
It's the creator of the Brawltons videos. Remember those back in the day?
I don't get it. What?
Brawltons. It's a series of Smash Brothers parody videos where they poke fun of the first 3 games that at that time, like the characters, the mechanics, their movesets, the lore, the fonts.
I still don't get what the problem is.
Basically, the creator of that series got promoted to become a voice actor for one of the characters in the newly released Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Okay.
But then 2 things happened that pretty much ruined his career. One is sexual allegations with his girlfriend, and another that he broke his NDA that he was voicing one of the characters.
Yeah, I don't think the sexual allegations are what got him kicked off. It was the breaking his NDA. Because remember when Dylan Cuthbert was supposed to be the voice of Fox? Remember?
Yeah.
For Star Fox Zero, and he broke his NDA, and they had to, and they kicked. Like, Nintendo is real anal about that. They don't like that shit. They will They don't like that shit at all. So he fucked up. He should have kept his mouth shut. People don't understand. Sometimes the best thing you can do is keep your fucking mouth shut, and not say anything. Just be quiet.
Or else the Nintendo ninjas will get you.
I mean, basically, yeah, he fucked up.
And right now they found a replacement voice actor for it, so they're gonna release a patch
Yeah.
for both the game and Fire Emblem Heroes.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, really. It's kind of sad because, you know, people don't know when to shut the fuck up. That's all I gotta say. I don't really think that's a controversy though, because I mean, people fuck up sometimes. I mean, should the dude have lost his career opportunity? Not really, but I mean, you know, he didn't know when to shut the fuck up. People forget.
People are praising for his removal because of the sexual allegations that he admitted on his Twitter account.
What, that he sexually assaulted his girlfriend?
Yeah.
That's not good. I mean, I still don't think someone should get fired for sexual assault, but whatever.
And there's that, and continuing on with Nintendo, the controversy regarding the lawsuit for Joy-Con drifting, which got solved pretty quickly as they just announced that they'll be repairing the drifting Joy-Cons for free from here on out.
Well, I mean, if they hadn't rushed out the Switch, maybe the Joy-Cons wouldn't have been as how can I put this?
Well, it's only occurring to Joy-Cons from the launch day consoles
because they rushed it out. They rushed that shit out as quickly as humanly possible because they wanted to get it on the market. I understand business wise it makes sense, but you can tell that because I have one of those launch Switches and I noticed those Joy-Cons are kind of put this nicely like there's a reason most of my gaming is done on my
Pro controller,
yeah, because like it's just, you know,
however, the Joy-Cons released since mid-2018 have been more endurable.
Yeah, because those weren't rushed out. You know, basics. It's basic. When you rush out a product, I mean, look, man. Okay. Nintendo rushed out a product. Normally, Nintendo has the higher standards of quality with their products, but like I said, the Wii U was dying, and they needed to get something out to replace it. I understand that. Business-wise, I understand that. I'm just not used to Nintendo fucking up like that. Okay? Because normally they don't fuck up like that when it comes to launching a product. You know, they pulled a minor version of the Red Ring of Death. The problem is, the cool thing is that, or at least the thing we have to be thankful for is that it's a minor thing, right? It's just a Joy-Con thing, and there's an easy fix. Like if you don't want to send your Joy-Cons in, you can get a Pro controller and play most of your games with the Pro controller and be fine. I think almost all the games can be played with the Pro controller, as a matter of fact. So you're fine that way. But it's like, you know, they rushed it out. They wanted to get it on the market. You know, that first run, they were like, get it out, get it out there, get it on the shelves. I understand it. I got it. You know, they had the Wii U was failing. They needed to do something. But, I mean, you know, I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, no, this is just, come on, man. I mean, let's keep it real. You know, they had to get it out there. So, I mean, I'm not happy about it, but, you know, hopefully, if you know, when Nintendo launches their next console, they won't be in such a hurry, and they can make sure that shit doesn't, you know, have this type of issue. Because, like I said, we've never had this before. I've never had a Nintendo controller be fundamentally flawed at launch. Because I normally get Nintendo consoles at launch, so you know I don't get fundamentally flawed shit at launch from Nintendo, typically speaking. But this time, you know, it happened. Hopefully, they learn from it and they won't do it again.
Let's see. Any other game-related news that came out this week?
No, it's been a slow week. It's been a very slow week.
Oh yeah, you remember Bochi, the 15-year-old competitive Smash Brothers player who got bullied by the community for being a girl?
No, I don't. But go ahead.
Apparently, there's more drama involving her this time for saying the N-word in the private Discord server.
Well, that's the end of her career. It was fun while it lasted. I don't know why people think that it's okay to use the N-word.
She posted her apology, saying that she was just being edgy.
That's not edgy, unless you want to get your ass kicked. I mean, you know, if getting ass kickings is edgy, then go for it. You know, get your ass kicked, losing your job, go for it. I guess that's edgy, man. I lost my job because I called someone. I dropped the N-bomb. Hey, you know. The only time it's really acceptable to use the N-word is if you're telling a joke. All right? If you're a comedian, if you're a black comedian and you're telling a joke and you drop the N-word, like, I'll give you the perfect example. Dave Chappelle's Rick James stories, Charlie Murphy's Rick James stories. Like, when like Dave Chappelle does that skit where he's supposed to be Rick James, he's grinding his feet in those people's couch, and he drops N-bombs in order to emphasize him grinding his feet in these people's couch. That's funny. You know, it's part of the punchline of the joke, so he can say it. But if you're just some fucker playing video games, why? Like, what are you? You're not a comedian. You're not a professional comedian. What you're saying is not funny or edgy. You know. The only person I know ever called me the N-word, I threw down a flight of bleachers. I mean, to my face. I'm pretty sure someone called me the N-word, not to my face. So, but I have no control over that. And I got a detention.
Yikes.
Yeah, well, the dude got suspended, so it was a bullshit school. Cause like this kid's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to West Point and I'm gonna be in the Navy. I'm like, dude, I don't know how the fuck you're gonna be in the Navy and you're calling black people the N-word, because there's tons of black people in the armed forces. Little racist piece of shit. But that's neither here nor there. I don't like racists. And no, it's not okay to use the N-word. Have you not figured that out yet? Dumbasses. Anyway, let's see. There's nothing else here. Anything you want to bring up before we wrap things up?
Let's see. Unless I can find more news articles.
I mean, if you want to, but I mean.
Looking up right now. We got large piracy websites are hosting Switch ROMs are being taken down in China.
Good, although it's not gonna make a difference. Look, let me tell you something. They're still gonna find a way to pack that shit. So I mean, I don't even know why Nintendo's trying. They're gonna pirate that shit anyway.
Also, Mother itself is 30 years old now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Shigesato Itoi said that a guy who's like said they could make a Mother 4, but you'd have to make it without Shigesato Itoi, and I'm like, that's okay, because he's busy.
They said they'll be happy if someone else did.
Yeah, that'd be better. Just have someone else do it.
And just now, Earthbound developers want to know if you want them to make what to make for the series.
I'd like another Earthbound. That'd be cool. I mean, look, I've already said, to me, for the West, because we never got Mother 3. So your best bet if you make an Earthbound 4 is just to make it kind of like a continuation of Earthbound.
It's a Japanese survey. It ends on my birthday, August 1st.
Yeah. So, like I said, your best bet would be to just continue that storyline, because people don't know. People are aware of Lucas from Smash Brothers, but they don't really, like, most gamers don't know anything about Mother 3. So, just continue the game from have like 20 years have passed, and Ness and all those kids who saved the world in Earthbound are adults and realize that being adults suck. Make it be kind of like It, where they got to band together to take on the ultimate evil, but they thought it was Gygas, but it wasn't. It was that fat bastard Pokey. Fat bastard. The original fat bastard. Pokey. Now that would be an awesome game. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm looking for some news stories. I can't find shit. I'm on.
There's gonna be a Dreamer edition for the Link's Awakening remake that comes with both the game and an art book.
Yeah, probably overpriced too. I don't know. I mean, this week we've got some big games coming out this week. We got Fire Emblem Three Houses, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 came out. There's some good games that have come out this month. So, some downloadable games. For those of you who are gaming on PC, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom came out on PC. You can get it on Steam for $26.99 versus on the Switch for $39.99. Which is the reason I didn't get it on the Switch, because it was $39.99, and I'm like, there's no way on God's green earth I'm paying $40 for a Monster Boy game. You are out of your fucking mind. I got it on PC for almost 25 though, so a little over 25. So
also, Mega Man X is coming back on mobile.
Yeah, but it's on mobile, so it's like Capcom. Capcom is truly the definition of 1 step forward, 3 steps back. Like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And that's literally what it was. It was 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Mario Maker has dropped. Nintendo has shared a hidden power-up for Super Mario Maker 2. It's the Super Ball from Super Mario. Yeah, from Super Mario Land. It's like the Fire Flower, except you throw it in the ball. I already got that and shit.
I already got that unlocked.
Yeah, but for those who haven't, it's in the game, so they're showing some Mario love. Thus far, the only game that they haven't talked about shit about is Super Mario Brothers 2, aka Doki Doki Panic reskin, which is kind of sad because I mean, a lot of the things that people know about the Mario series really that weren't in the original Super Mario Brothers, it was in Super Mario Brothers 2. Like picking up enemies, throwing them.
And people were hoping it was going to be, and people were hoping it was going to be an unlockable style.
It's kind of sad. I would totally do it. Trine 4 is coming out October 10th. Now, for those of you, Trine is basically the spiritual successor to the Lost Vikings, basically. And it's pretty damn awesome. And it's coming out October 10th. So, yeah. So that being said, that's the end of the podcast. I guess it's time for me to do my sign off. You got to sign off, Pinky. You go first.
As a Pinky Dog for Video Game Facts, please check out our website on Discus where we talk about facts and opinions in the gamosphere. I had to get back to catching up to Agents of Steel season 6.
And you ain't missing much, but you could skip it and you'd probably be fine. This is Mr. Red Fox. You can reach me at mrredfoxbsbuster at gmail.com. That's mrredfoxbsbuster at gmail.com, or at Twitter at Matthew Wesley. That's MATTHEW space WESLEY at Mr. Red Fox 91. Spelled MRRADFOX 91. Boom. You can also well, no, that's it. Those are the only ways to reach the channel. Every Wednesday and Saturday, 7:30 to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do a podcast. The Wednesday podcast is all about just generic pop culture things involved with gaming, like how to bring back certain genres of gaming, certain franchises, that type of thing. The Saturday cast is more about the news of the week. So if you like news, Saturday. If you like just talking about gaming, Wednesday's podcast will start being opened up to guest panelists who want to come in and talk about video games. In order to join, all you need is a Discus or some way to contact you, where I can give you a link to come in and all that fun shit. So with that being said, do I have any recommendations? Oh, if you have Amazon Prime, watch The Boys. It's basically what Zack Snyder was trying to do with his Snyderverse, but done better. It's a little cheap because it's basically a TV budget, but still pretty good.
Yeah, my dad's recommended me to watch it.
Yeah, it's dark though. It's like M-rated, and it's some fucked up shit going on. Like really fucked up shit going on. It's kind of rough, but overall it's pretty good. So that being said, that's the end of the podcast. Remember, rate, comment, share, subscribe. I'm going to steal this from Shadow Fox Infinite. Do you have games to have fun or to impress other people? As for me, I play games to impress other people. I don't give a shit about having fun. With that being said, I'm joking. I'm joking, of course. With that being said, that's the end of the podcast. Remember, rate, comment, share, subscribe. Peace. Good night. Arrivederci.
And hyper publicly.
And fuck EA and Bethesda and Sony. And you know what? Fuck Google too.